Hey guys, welcome to Sled Talk. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I would like to take a second of your time and introduce this season's title sponsor is Bikeman Performance. So they've decided to jump on board and help push the podcast. And if you're unaware, Bikeman is the elite level when it comes to aftermarket performance parts on your sled. So be sure to check out their site, link in the description. And without further ado, let's jump into the show.
Let the band play.
100K on the Protect, living life with no regrets. I can't designer when I get dressed. Summertime on winter fresh. I put her legs behind her head. Night she gone to bed. Bye. Every day it's a new test. I just keep chasing these checks. Living life with no regrets. Living life with no regrets. Living life with no regrets. Living life with no regrets.
Sled Talk listeners, welcome back to the next episode, coming to you guys again from Heydays. And this episode, returning guest Jacob and new guest Ryan with ArcticFX. Let's just jam right into it. So Jacob, obviously you've been on the podcast before, but maybe this episode has some new listeners. So let's start off with an introduction of yourself, and then we'll go over to Ryan.
I'm Jacob Levine. I love riding snowmobiles. I live in Minnesota, and I work for ArcticFX.
Heck yeah. Ryan?
My name is Ryan Styler. I do marketing stuff for ArcticFX. I'm happy to be here.
Heck yeah, glad to have you on, man. Glad you guys are here. So, Ryan, let's kind of go through a little bit about your role at ArcticFX and talk us through let's first start off with how you got introduced to working for ArcticFX in the first place. How did that all come about?
Yeah, so it's about almost 4 years ago. Little 3.5-4 years ago. I was vibing in sales.
Yeah.
And opportunity came, got plugged in, met with Jordan, some of the other people in the office, and it was a pretty smooth process. And 2-3 weeks later, we were in business. We hit the ground running real fast.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. And so, walk us through day to day. What do you do on a day-to-day basis as your role?
That's a tough question, mostly because every day is different.
Sure.
They're due to the nature of kind of marketing and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's a constantly changing world. I would say kind of broad strokes, things I do more frequently than others. I work a lot. I have the opportunity to work a lot with athletes. So kind of riders, Polaris, Skidoo, Arctic,
Sure.
the whole nine.
Yep.
I have an opportunity to work with that. It's really cool. I do some pretty close work with some OEM people, some aftermarket companies, stuff like that. And then kind of on top of that, I oversee the larger scale marketing approach and put into play.
Okay.
And dabbling a little bit in website stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, nice. And so how much, Jacob and Ryan, how much do you guys coordinate to work together? Because obviously you're creating content and maybe you're using it for marketing, or how much do your guys' interactions?
I would say how that works when there's an event like this, he'll reach out to me and say, hey, we need some ads made with pictures for posting online, or I'd say posting related things in relations to deals, or I guess what else?
I think it's a lot of we work together pretty closely.
Sure.
A lot of it has to do with either we're planning
Website.
something ahead of time, and we need to make sure all of our ducks are in a row or coordinated, or here's a last minute project that came up for an OEM or an aftermarket company or something like that. We need this, and we need it 48 hours, and we got to go.
Yep.
So we do have the ability to kind of be constantly in communication, which is super nice, especially kind of in the world that's always evolving in how you communicate.
Right.
Especially because I'm remote too.
Yeah, you being in Minnesota does make it a little challenging. But I think we've handled it pretty smoothly as far as the transition goes. I think it's just a matter of what we need. If we're able to communicate it well, it's not a problem at all.
Sure. Yeah. Communication is key for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, on the marketing side of things, so prior for me to getting into real estate, I ran my own ad agency for about 5 years. In a super small town, different niches all over the place, real estate agents, car dealerships, whatever, which was terrible. Just because super small town, and you couldn't, I had 7-8 different clients, all different niches, and so you're doing different content, different marketing strategies. It was chaos, but so now I just do all the marketing and stuff for myself and my own businesses. But so on the topic of marketing, what is like ArcticFX's best channel or advertisements that have the highest conversions for selling products?
I would honestly say the best one we have is word of mouth.
Got it. That's always the best, right?
A lot of our audience is totally generated through organic means.
Yeah.
We've developed relationships within the industry that are very beneficial.
Right.
But again, you're not promoting through just knowing the right people. So I think one of the things is conveniently is that a lot of us have kind of inherited a lot of it. Jordan did a phenomenal job when he was bringing the company up from the ground up.
Yeah.
And we were able to jump in easily and kind of maneuver positively those relationships and those kind of situations to the point where, now we know the people that Jordan knows as well. And it's an easy communication where there's an open line pretty much all the time, email, phone calls, where with the people we work closely with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. And then, you've got events like this, which are also huge. Being over on like the east side of Michigan, we don't get a chance to integrate ourselves a lot with, the mountain riders and all of the people who we love to work with. And an equation like this is the perfect time. It's not too far for us. It's not too far for everybody else.
Yep.
We can all meet here, come to a mutual agreement that we're going to have a good time and we're going to hang out.
Heck yeah.
And we're just going to, whatever happens, we're going to go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's key. So, I don't think I asked you this on the last episode because we didn't talk too much, but specifically about your roles. We did a little bit, but so, and I'll ask you guys both the same questions. Jacob, what do you feel is, it's a two-part, what do you feel is the most rewarding aspect of your role for the company?
Honestly, that's a tough question. I think there's no part that isn't rewarding, so I can't say there's one that is like more rewarding than another. It's an awesome opportunity to be able to promote such a great company and to hopefully help grow that company through the work that I do, right? Like that's a big role. Now, today's world, everything's going digital, right?
Yes.
Like everything's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like that's where it's going. And if it's my role to take care of that, that's huge.
Yeah.
And if I can help grow the company because of the stuff that I'm doing, it's awesome. I love it.
Gotcha.
And I'm so passionate about snowmobiling and everything, so it's just like a dream come true.
Yeah. Right.
I get to help people keep their passion alive.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's cool. That's super rewarding. So on the flip side of that, what's the greatest challenge of it?
I honestly think, well, it's hard to say that too because I haven't worked for ArcticFX super long.
Right.
So I haven't gone through a full season of like what it's like, right? In the summertime, it's not sled season. I would say snowmobiling is the big component of ArcticFX, and then there's the UTVFX and MotoFX, and that is something that we're currently trying to build up to get to the size of ArcticFX. But being that, ArcticFX is so big and we haven't really got like a set game plan of building the other two, in the summer there's not like a whole lot to do. So
gotcha. And so Ryan, for you, what's like the biggest rewarding factor for your job and your role?
I think the biggest thing for me is actually one of the things I'm most grateful about kind of where I am in the industry and in the profession is that I get the opportunity to interact with a lot of people.
Right.
And I get to interact with them in a way that is a little bit different than kind of just like customer to business.
Yeah.
I get a chance to interact with people from Snow West, and I know some people over there. You interact with Climb, Polaris, Skidoo, Arcticat, all of the big kids on the block you get to interact with, and it's awesome being able to be part of an industry that feels like a family.
Yes.
To the point where
nailed it.
Even if you don't know somebody, you can spend 15, 20 minutes chatting on the phone, trading emails, and after your third or fourth email, your second or third phone call, you feel like you know at least enough about this person to if you wanted to go out and grab a drink, it wouldn't be weird.
Yeah, got it.
And well, here's the thing. That's like the nice thing too about, being in an industry like this. One, everybody, snowmobilers, we all think alike in some way, shape, or form. But who's buying a wrap and they're not stoked, right?
Yeah.
Like the vibes are always good. You can't have a negative relationship ever.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the best.
Absolutely. And so, Ryan, the second part of that, what do you feel is the most challenging?
Honestly, I think it's
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Just want to take a quick second to introduce another one of this year's sponsors. We got RSI, so whether you need handlebars or grips, seat covers, controls, etc., doesn't matter. Use SledSend 2023 at checkout for 15% off your next order.
it's where we are. I think one of the hardest things we have to combat with is that we're not out west.
Yeah,
And a lot of what we do is out west.
sure.
So we're constantly in this strange state of limbo where we're interacting with people out there all the time.
Right.
And we're not there.
Gotcha.
So, we've got people who consistently ask, hey, can you install the wrap that I just bought? And it's no, like we can't. Like we're genuinely just too far away.
Sure.
And I think it's one of those things that if we were closer, it'd be something that we could kind of maneuver around. There would be a lot more interaction. Like the Denver Snow Show would be an easy thing to jump into. Like all the stuff that happens over there.
Yeah.
That that's so integral to this community that we surround ourselves with. It does get to be a little difficult sometimes when you're not on the outside looking in, but you're far away. You're still involved.
Yeah.
But you're involved from over there.
Gotcha. Yeah, that could be a super challenging aspect of it. It plays such a big role. Jeff?
My name is Jeff. My name is Jeff. Pull that clip up.
You got anything for us?
My name's Jeff.
Yeah. Hire him. Yeah.
That's funny. New website.
Yeah, any new features or new aspects to the products or
There's
anything
a new
that you
website.
can...
It's pretty dope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we just did a reskin of our website. So that's been a kind of a big project as well. This year was also a little bit different as far as like the design side, because everything was so wild with COVID that you were kind of trying to feel it out last year, and so you didn't want to overpopulate things that weren't. You had no idea. Like COVID happened, and we didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
So you try and prepare as best you can. And the best way to prepare was to kind of under-prepare.
Yeah.
See what people were looking for, and then kind of evolve from there. This year we took a different approach. We kind of front-loaded our new designs. We got I think it's 14 new ones this year.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of them are in the booth, some of them we didn't have the opportunity to get a sled for, but I think there's a lot of cool things that are in the works that are consistently evolving, and
Sure.
I think there's good things coming.
Yeah.
It might take some time, but good things are coming.
Yeah, that's exciting. Good. Anything else? What are we at for time? Doing all right? Yeah?
13
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. As far as what? Yeah. Yeah, I guess, let's walk it through the customer experience, right? So like
Sure.
if one of the listeners right now, they just got a new sled, never had a wrap before, and they hear the podcast and hear about you guys, and they go to your website, what's the process or things that they should think about or consider when they go through the process of purchasing a wrap from you guys?
The first piece of support I can give, don't feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options. There's a lot of things you can do. It can kind of feel a little bit like drinking through a fire hydrant.
Jeez. Yeah.
Don't feel that way. The whole process that we've kind of developed is we want you to make it your own. So if you see something that you love, get it. Go for it. Full send. Like, just go.
Yeah.
If you see something you don't, great. let's talk about it. We love to hear from you guys. Like, we want to hear from you about what you want.
Yeah.
And we'll make it happen.
It's that one.
I didn't know that.
They're all going. They're all going.
No, on the contrary to that, you don't need to feel overwhelmed. Just go have fun with it.
Yeah.
You can do literally anything. There's so many different ways to make a wrap like your own, like make it unique. Don't feel like, oh, I want to do this. Like, if you see a wrap, there's so many designs. You see one and you just like caught your eye and you're clicking with it, go with it.
Yeah.
The colors have a color scheme going. You do whatever you like.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's yours.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think it's.
Don't worry about what other people are doing or what's trending. Like, there's so many things you could do.
Yeah.
Just go have fun. Just go wild.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's. I asked Jordan that question. We can ask them that too. Were you gonna say something, Ryan?
oh, I was just gonna say it's not down to boiling it down to one kit either.
Right.
Like we have a feature where you can save a design and just return to it later. So if you see something and you're vibing purple for whatever reason,
Yeah.
do it, create it, save
Yeah.
it, and then if tomorrow you're vibing not purple,
Yeah.
no harm, no foul. Like,
Yeah.
do that one, save that one,
Right.
and then when you feel confident that you can choose between the two, go from there.
Yeah.
So we wanted the customer experience to be something that they felt they were involved in the process with, but also
Absolutely.
not to the point where it was, hey, I need information from you. I need you to tell me right now.
Yeah.
I need all of it.
Yeah.
It's so, be relaxed, have fun with it. Don't feel overwhelmed. We know it can be stressful. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
So, deep breath. We got this. Like, we're gonna get it right.
Heck yeah, absolutely. So to the same individuals that are listening right now and wanted to know the walkthrough experience, let's back that up even more and ask both of you directly. I asked Jordan this and his answer was really good. Let's say they come across some other different wrap companies, right? So why should they, as a customer, choose ArcticFX versus a different wrap company?
Because Papa said so. I mean, I've only ran ArcticFX wraps my entire life just because that's, when I was out riding, that's all I ever saw.
Yeah.
And I guess I can't speak on why ArcticFX is so much better because I've only ran that. And I've only ran that because I've never had any problems ever. When something went wrong, when I cracked a panel, I can get a replacement piece.
For just that piece?
Yes.
Yep.
If I need a reprint, or if the colors are wrong or something happens, they're willing to
Work with
take
you.
the wrap
Yeah.
back, get you a new one, right? Like, there's nothing bad about it. There's no bad, I don't know. I can't think of anything bad to say about ArcticFX.
Gotcha. Ryan?
I would say one of our biggest strengths is probably the customer experience. We've got a
Right there.
really well-skilled team who cares about the person getting the kit.
Yeah.
We know where we stand, and it's a big ticket item. We get it, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right thing, and you might not be sure, so you feel you need to get and communicate that with us. We totally understand. Like, we've got colors. We go out and match OEM colors.
Right. Yep.
With our material.
Well, you even match climb colors too, don't you?
Yep. Climb, Polaris, Skidoo, Arctic, Yamaha.
Everything.
We've spent the time on the front end to get the color right, so that you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
We've spent the time to put together templates in a way that's user friendly, so that you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
We've spent time perfecting a material that allows for mistakes if you're installing it, because you can install it yourself, and we've done that on the front end so that you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
And speaking on installing yourself, I've heard through the grapevine for other people that haven't ran ArcticFX that the install process is very confusing. It's not as easy as ArcticFX is. When you get a wrap from these guys, rolls out in a long sheet and everything is color coded. At the end of the wrap, there's a diagram and it'll show you where the colors are, and then it'll say piece L4 for left side panel 4
Yep.
sticker, and it'll show you, and then you can put it on. It's like Legos.
Yep.
It's just like
Yep.
sticker Legos.
If it wasn't
right?
for that, I wouldn't have a wrap on my sled.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's look at all the little nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I mean, it's easy, but it's kind of difficult sometimes, especially if you're doing it yourself. And if you are, makes all the difference in the world when you have a diagram you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
I
Yeah,
think that's huge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I said this to Jordan too on that episode, but when I went through it and got mine, like I picked, it was Andy Thomas. It was his style or design or whatever. Yep. But then it was dope because like there were certain things and certain brands and stuff that I didn't have on my sled, and so I talked to customer service. I was like, yo, I don't want that on there. Can we remove that? Oh yeah, no problem. Can we move this brand over here? Oh yeah, sick. Can I put my SledSend logo on this panel? Yep, send us the image. Here you go. Here's a proof. This is what it looks like. Do you like it? No. Do we need to change something? Yes, no, whatever. So it's super like streamlined, super simple. And so I think that the website, the customer service, everything, like you said, you're like alleviating on the front end so that literally the most challenging, most difficult aspect to the entire process for me is in my head of like, what do I want it to look like kind of thing, right? Because you facilitated everything else that it checks all those boxes and doesn't cause any problems for the customer. So it's an incredible experience from start to finish of purchasing a wrap from you guys. So yeah, I think it's an incredible company. But I mean, maybe biased, whatever. And again, for me, like I've never had any other wrap, any other company on my sled either.
That's what you think of it though. Like, why do people ride Polaris over Skidoo? Right? Like, I guess for me, like, but around here, like, I grew up riding Polaris. It's what I've grown up on. Some people, when they get their first wrap, they might go to another company. That's the way they work. Did they have a harder time putting it on? Yeah. Does it look as good? No. But
sure.
I mean, ArcticFX, best.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. So, Jacob, you already know, but Ryan, we end every single episode with the Sled Talk question of the episode. So it could be wrap specific, it could be snowmobile specific, it could be gear, it could be anything to ask the listeners and viewers, and then they can comment their answers on our social platforms. So whoever has an idea first can go ask their question first.
I'm still brewing, so...
I would say the biggest question that we love to ask people is like, what's your vibe? Sled wraps are all about the vibe.
Yep.
And if you can put yours into words, you're already halfway there.
Yeah.
Like
that's a good
you
point.
Put it in there, man. You can filter things down. You can simplify things. Oh, I don't like that, or I do like this. It makes the process 10 times easier.
Yeah.
So what's your vibe?
Right.
If you figure that out, man, you're halfway there.
Heck yeah.
So,
comment your answer below on that one.
Mine's more of a recommendation, maybe.
Okay, that's fine.
If you got a side-by-side, a dirt bike, snowmobile, you think it's pretty badass, ArcticFX wrap, send it to us, because we want to post. We don't want to focus so much on just all the athletes. It's the community. It's everybody who supports. So everybody, if you got something sick, send it our way so we can share the love with you guys too and help you guys maybe grow yourself.
Yep. Good point.
And if you do that, either send it to the ArcticFX DM or send it to fxcontent@arcticfxgraphics.com.
Nice. Awesome.
We'll sort through that.
Heck yeah. That's a great point. Cool. Well, both of you, thank you for jumping on the podcast. Appreciate you guys taking the time in this crazy thing we call heydays to jump on here and sit down with us. So, heck yeah. Awesome. Well, Sled Talk listeners, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Decent.
100K on the Protect, living life with no regrets. I can't designer when I get dressed. Summertime on winter fresh. I put her legs behind her head. Night she gone to bed. Bye bye. Every day it's a new test. I just keep chasing these chicks.